Hello there, how are ya? Welcome back to How I Did It. Today's video is going to be a combination of a couple of days. I put the flow hive on. The bees are coming up into the flow frames and just working it, filling it in with propolis and whatnot. And I wanted to go ahead and show an update of that, and I'm going to give you all a quick update on little Miss Stella. Anyway, as you can see, they're up there, they're working. They're not super heavy up there, but it's because our weather keeps going from warm to cold, so they'll come out during the warm weather and up into the flow frames during the real warm weather. Once it gets cold though, they all move back down into the main deep Langstroth box on the bottom, which is fine. You know, just nervous Nelly, hear me. I want to go in here and take a look, see how they're doing. I've had the flow frames on there, I think it's about maybe 2 weeks now, and I really haven't done a big hive inspection. So I do know that I'm queen right. When I went in there and looked, the frames are just full. They have a real nice brood pattern. And I had one day where a bunch of those bees had hatched and they were out doing their little figure 8 orientation flight, which was pretty doggone cool. Anyway, as you can see here, I'm just pulling this flow frame out. I want to see what they're doing on the bottom of it. You know, just, again, I'm being the nosy neighbor. Curiosity killed the cat. As you can see, it's still a little bit chilly this day that I was in here checking this out, so they haven't totally moved all the way back up into the frames and started working pretty heavily, but they'll get there a little bit later. Just a little bit of time, you know, relax and let them do their thing is what I've found. I don't know whether it's right or wrong, because as you all know, I'm the rookie beekeeper. I'm lucky I haven't killed these girls by now. But they are flourishing, they are doing well, and I'm just tickled to death with it. Again, these Italian bees, I love these things. Now, because I went a little bit deeper into the hive today, I do have my bee jacket on with some gloves. You know, it's funny, when they buzz my hands when I pick stuff up, it just freaks me right out. But they just come up, they kind of look at my face, and then they move along. Again, I've only been stung once, and it was during that robbing incident. I don't even think it was my girls that stung me. It was just one sting. I think it was one of those doggone robber bees. I can't say enough about these Italian bees. I just really like them. Okay, so here I did load up. I had my smoke ready in case I needed to get, you know, defensive a little bit. And as you can see, they brought that wax and propolis and all that right up to that queen extruder. Now you'll notice that white pad that I have on there. That is actually my Swiffer pad to catch the hive beetles. So I put a CD case in the bottom with borax and a little bit of honey to draw the hive beetles in. I only had a couple of them check in and not check out. But this Swiffer pad, this did pretty good. There's 3 or 4 on that one side, and then you'll look at this reverse side. There's quite a few there along that one edge. So this is a very effective deterrent trap for hive beetles. I'm really liking it. I don't remember whose YouTube channel I got this idea off of. If I remember, it was Daniel from Barnyard Bees, but I don't know. Who knows? You know, at my age, I'm lucky I remember to get up in the morning. Anyway, moving on. Because there is so much wax and propolis, whatnot, built up, I'm going to go ahead and smoke these girls, get them down in, and I'm going to give this a scrape off. Now, what I ended up doing, I flipped the wax off, but I later went and picked that wax up and put it up into the top, right on top of the flow frames. That way those girls could go back and get those wax resources that they had worked so hard at building up right here. You know, I've kind of come to the decision, or conclusion I should say, that I think I'm going to rebuild this rack or this beehive stand that I have these girls sitting on. See how much it's flexing? I don't think I've ever realized how much it did flex when I was doing stuff. I need to maybe rethink this just a little bit. Put something a little bit more solid. Maybe put pipes across there instead of flexible 2x4s. That'll work. I'm just about done here, as you can see. Scrape, scrape, flip. And now we can see down in there. Oh my goodness, isn't that just a beautiful sight? Those girls are just flourishing. They look absolutely fantastic. Again, I had looked at this a while back, and I am queen right. So rather than bother them, I figured I would just pull out the one end frame here, show you how it's almost all the way built out. So on this 10 frame Langstroth box, I have 8 frames that are filled. Technically 8.5, because I have a half a side on one, and then the other side, as I flip it over, you'll see they're just now starting to build that out. So it is definitely wise from everything that I've learned across the board that I put the flow hive up on top. That way they can start transferring those honey resources and whatnot, or putting those honey resources up into the flow frames themselves. Keep the bottom for the brood and for the queen. Leave the pollen resources in the bottom, and then just use the nectar in the top for honey. And again, they bring it in, and until it's sealed, it is considered nectar. Once it is sealed, then it is classified as honey. Now, just a heads up with this hurricane strap. Nah, it's actually just a ratchet strap, but it's on here specifically for hurricanes. We have had issues with a couple of bears and raccoons, and this strap seems to do the trick to keep that beehive in place. Alright, so this is footage from a few days later. As you can see, less bee orientation flights outside of the front of the box. Now we just have bees in there, coming in and out like crazy, delivering the pollen. You can see all the little pollen packets on the back of their legs. These bees are absolutely just amazing. Absolutely amazing. You know, they say that if a bee is well fed, they are very docile. I'm thinking between these bees being Italian bees and the fact that they're well fed, whether it was during the dearth or while there was a honey flow or nectar flow on, they've always had all the resources that they would need, that I have never had an issue with any aggressiveness whatsoever. Now, those were just a few still shots. I thought I had shot current video of the flow frames. Obviously, I did not. But I will take care of it for you in the next week or so. Right now, the heavy focus is on little Miss Stella and trying to keep her comfortable. She is coming up to due any day now. So we're just kind of taking it easy. I mean, she doesn't even go out, you know, running around the property. This is kind of her position. She's either laying in a field somewhere, or she's laying inside the barn, or if we're in town, she's just laying in the living room. She is just a typical, oh, I'm so fat pregnant woman and want this to be over. Gotta love that pup though. Alrighty then, I want to thank you all for stopping by. Have an absolutely wonderful and blessed day. I'll see you next time on How I Did It.